Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Um, my name is Sophia, and we are so honored to have you here today for our lesson called Zooming into Zoom. We have a super exciting class set up, and we'll go ahead and get started now that it's 11:30. Today, though, we have our first sponsor. This is Roberta and Kurt Stetson. These two have been students of our class for quite some time now. They know Jordan quite well, and he even asked Roberta to speak whenever he was featured on CNN for 2021's CNN Heroes. So it was a super great. It was a pleasure having Roberta speak with Jordan on that day. I remember he was so excited to have students that he knew well come and sort of share what this class meant to them, and so we're so grateful that Roberta and Kurt could sponsor the lesson today. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming class, as they have done today, you can email info@mittlerseniortech.com. But yes, we are so grateful to anyone who can sponsor our lesson, or if you have any questions about it, shoot your questions to that email. Today we have our mission statement as always, and I will go ahead and read it. It is the responsibility of the younger generation to educate seniors about technology. The goal of Mittler Senior Technology is to cure the issue of social isolation within senior communities and to help seniors feel more connected with our new world of technology. Our personalized classes strive to educate seniors on how to communicate with friends and family in the manner in which the world is accustomed to today, and how to use technological tools to enhance and simplify their daily lives. So moving forward with today's class, I think Zoom is very applicable to that, plugging you right into the modern world, as I myself am also just learning Zoom, I think, little by little, now that we're using it more and more. With Mittler Senior Technology, we are proud that we have students in 10 different countries. Zoom gives us this beautiful ability to connect with people and be in this virtual classroom together. And we have taught more than 200 different topics, different classes, things like that. And today we are excited to begin with this one for this Sunday. The computer basics class is on, okay, so I'm sorry. Today we are teaching about Zoom, but on our portal, we have recorded in a studio 10 lessons that cover what we believe to be computer basics. And if you would like to watch those before tuning in with these more specialized live classes, you can sign up through mittlerseniortechnology.com. And on here, you can go ahead and just log in and watch them at your own pace. They're $7.50 per class, and they're taught by Jordan Mittler himself in the recordings. Once you have watched those, if you would like more pre-recorded content to just watch on your own time, on your own schedule, we have our advanced computers classes, which is an additional 10-lesson course, and essentially just the next level of these technology skill sets that we have essentially developed from the first basics classes. These are now $10 a class, and once again, they're taught by Jordan himself in the recordings. Today we will cover Zoom, but also if you have any questions, you can also reach out to us at info@mittlerseniortech.com. On our website, we used to have, I think, a few different emails that you could reach out to us on, but now just to simplify it and make it easier, we have everything right here at info@mittlerseniortech.com. But for today, I would like to introduce myself. I am Sophia. I am the assistant director of Mittler Senior Technology. I will be essentially the MC for today, but teaching with us, we have Nathaniel, Nathan, and David, who we have brought onto the teaching team recently that we're super excited about. And then we also have Amiel helping us with the IT for the day. So just looking at the day ahead, in the next hour, we hope to cover how to join a Zoom meeting, which you all have successfully done if you're on this call. We will cover some controls within a Zoom meeting, hosting a Zoom meeting yourself, and maybe how to change something fun like a virtual background if we have time in the end. But we'll go ahead and get started. I'll pass it over to Nathaniel to kick us off.
Hi everyone, I'm Nathaniel. So today we're just going to be going over like how to Zoom, which you guys have all joined the Zoom. That's how you're on this right now. And basically Zoom is a relatively like new platform, and it allows people from all around the world to come and learn together or work together. And it's been very popular recently because COVID, so people were online working and learning. So even I started like using it last year, 2 years ago, and it allowed for so many people to come together and learn together. Um, also, Zoom is very official compared to other platforms like FaceTime or just calling, because it it's much more like professional. Um, Zoom is also a free service that lets you video chat with a large group of people on your computer or mobile device. So it is free. You guys all have Zoom downloaded, and that's just to join the meeting. You have to have Zoom downloaded, but if you want to host a meeting, like right now, we're hosting this meeting like to teach you guys. But if you want to host one to gather with friends or family, um, you need to have an account. Um, but so right now you need is to have it downloaded. And another key feature that the presidents don't need a Zoom account or even the Zoom app to join a meeting. While this makes Zoom more user friendly, skipping those steps will limit what you can do. So yeah, if you want to host, you have to have an account. We go to the next. So you guys, to do this, you guys click that join a meeting button, which allows you to join the meeting. But if you want, you also have this is what you'd get on a computer screen. And on the right, if you were on a mobile device like your phone, is on the right hand side where it says to either join. It has the same blue button to join the meeting. And if you want to sign in or sign up, you click right underneath. There's those buttons. So if you click on that, this like the next slide will show you what will come up. All right, so right here it says just some base. This is just to sign in. It's free, but you have to put in some information like your email, very basic information, your email, password, like maybe like your birthday, like nothing too serious, just like kind of basic information. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And so just to piggyback off of what Nathaniel has just said, a few additional key features of creating your own account on Zoom are that you can do things like host your own meeting, as he said. If you're not wanting to always be on Zoom just for this class, if you would like to one day host a Zoom with maybe your own purpose, whatever you would like to host, this requires an account, which to make an account, this requires you have an email account, which we have gone over in previous classes, but also something like that. If you have a question about how to set up an email or link it to your Zoom account to sort of in turn set this up, you can always email us with questions or reach out to us on Zoom with questions in the WhatsApp, whatever, concerning that preliminary step. But to make the Zoom account, yes, you need an email, and then this will require you set it up with a password, just for security reasons, to where it's sort of locked into your own private way to access the portal. Now I will pass it over to Nathan to cover joining a Zoom meeting that somebody else has maybe started.
Okay, hi, I'm Nathan. And so I'd like to talk to you guys about joining a Zoom meeting. So there's two different ways you're going to be able to do this. The first way, which is going to be the meeting ID. Now, this way I feel like is the more complicated way, because for this, you're going to be sent like, I think it's 9 digits that you will have to like type in, and there might be a password or in order to get in. While the link, well, you'll get sent a link, and what you will be able to do it with the link is you'll press on the link and you'll get straightly sent to the Zoom. Now, the only time I think you guys should really be using like the meeting ID is, let's say if you get a link sent on your phone, and let's say you would like to join the meeting on your computer. What you would have to do is you'd have to get sent the meeting ID, and maybe there would be a passcode, and that's how you do that. So for example, like for this Zoom, you guys probably pressed on a link, which got you sent straight to like the guy you sent straight to the meeting room. It's just personal preference though. Like I recommend the link because you just have to press on one thing and you'll get sent straight to the waiting room. And with the meeting ID, you'll have to type more things in. So it's just personal preference. It's up to you. Okay, so for here we have to the right we have how the setup is going to be on the phone, and to the left is the computer. So as you can see, as Nathaniel was saying before, the blue button that says join a meeting, there you'll be able to type in, as I was saying before, the 9 digits. So that's where you'll be able to type in the 9 digits right there. Yeah, with where the arrow is pointing to. That's where you'll have to type in the 9 digits, and maybe if there's a password. Then the next thing we have under it is the sign in, as we were talking about before. If you do not have an account, or which I recommend you having one. Now, unless you only want to join, unless you're only trying to have Zoom just to like join other meetings or interact with other people, it's not really necessary to have one. However, if you would like to host a meeting with, like, let's say other family members, some friends, you will have to make an account in order to host a Zoom. Now for the computer, all you have to do is you'll press the sign in and go to the next slide. And on the phone, it says sign up or sign in. So if you're going to want to sign up, but you do not have an account yet, you'll press sign up. And if you do have an account, you'll press sign up. So here is going to be talking about if you have an account. So at this point, you already are in your account, and this is going to be versus the phone versus the computer. So on the computer, you're gonna have these 4 options. There's gonna be new meeting, join, schedule, screen share. So we're gonna be mainly focusing on the join feature. So pressing that join is gonna allow you to put in a meeting ID, which will allow you to get into a Zoom. Yeah, so perfect. So here, so right now, you see where it says meeting ID or personal link ID right above Jordan Miller, the name. You're gonna put in the 9 codes. That's where you're gonna put in the 9 number code. And on the phone, you're gonna put it, it's kind of in the same place. It's a little different, but it's also going to be right above your name. And so then this might not always be the case, but for some meetings, you guys might come across this, which is it's stating that you'll need a password in order to join. So let's say you already put in the meeting ID, the host will determine whether there's going to be a password or not. It's just another security feature. So let's say if someone like doesn't want everyone joining. So what you're just going to have to do is after you put in the 9 number code, you're going to press next, and this is going to be the screen that you're going to come upon. And all you're going to do is you're going to already have the password. You'll type that in, and then you'll be able to join the meeting. Okay, so after you join the meeting, it's going to give you 2 options to either join with the video, which I recommend you all doing now because it's more of like a good environment. So you see me, I see you, or join without video. Now it's up to you guys which one you want. Join with video is going to, what it means is that I'm going to be able to see you, and I'm going to be able to see your faces. We're going to be able to see everything that you guys are doing. Now join without video, it's just going to be, we're not going to be able to see you. We're going to be able to see a black screen, maybe with your name on it. So I recommend to join with video, but it's a personal preference. Next, so after you go through all the passwords, or let's say you click on the link, or let's you put in the meeting ID, all these different options. After you do all that, you're not going to be able to go sent right into the meeting. You're going to have to wait in a virtual meeting, a virtual wait room, which is pretty much just kind of like another security aspect to Zoom, which is just, it's the host is going to determine whether you are going to be allowed in or not. Now, for example, for today's meeting, you guys were put in a meeting room, and all of us were going to be able to allow or not allow. Now, let's say if you guys did have an account, you guys are able to host a meeting. And let's see if you guys created a meeting, you guys will be able to determine who is going to be able to be allowed in your meeting or who you can reject. So next, now this is crucial. This is one of the main points. So right when you get into the Zoom, as for the join with video or join without video, this is also going to pop up. Now, this is very crucial because this is going to be the way they're going to be able to hear me and us teachers teach. Now, if you can't hear me right now, this is probably because you did not join the computer audio. So if you cannot hear me, maybe I would recommend pressing this. Now, on the computer, it's gonna be the one above, and it's gonna say join with computer audio, and all you're gonna have to do is press on that. However, with the phone, it's a little more complicated. Now, if you want to join, you're gonna press call using internet audio, which is gonna join you with your camera like on, so we're gonna be able to see you and you're gonna be able to speak. However, if you do not want your camera to be shown, you're just gonna press dial in. Now, I recommend pressing call using internet audio, but it's your preference again. Okay, so for example, this is an example of how you'll be sent a link. So our friend Henry over here, he sent us a meeting ID and a password, but he's also sent us a link. So as I was saying before, I recommend you press on the Zoom link, because instead of you having to type in all these numbers and all these letters, all you have to do is just click with your mouse and they'll send you right into the waiting room. But as I was saying before, let's say if you have the link on your phone and you are trying to join on your computer, you'll need to have the meeting and the password. And let's say if you have the link on your computer and you won't have it on your phone, you're going to need the meeting ID and password in order to join on your phone. So it's just mainly the only time you should be really putting in the meeting ID and the password is if you have the link somewhere and you're trying to join onto like another device.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Amiel, could you go back to slide 15 so I can just mention one more thing? I just wanted to add on top of this. Yes, so I just wanted to go over one more time. When we join a Zoom meeting, we are either sent a link from someone. As Nathan said, someone can send you a link directly. So get on my Zoom call, join this Zoom, and just click this link. So that's so simple. You just click the link. Maybe that's how some of you joined the class today. You could maybe click the link from the WhatsApp chat or something of that nature. Maybe that's how you joined today. But the other option to join a meeting, I just wanted to clarify, is the 9 to 10 digit code. So if someone did not send you a link to just click on and join a class, maybe they tell you this code of 9, 10 numbers. This is where you would enter it. After clicking join meeting, you are prompted with this bar to insert the meeting ID. And so this is more of just a manual way to enter these 9 to 10 digits for their Zoom call, whatever digits they gave you. And then that will place you right into the Zoom call as well. So they do the same thing, but a link, I think, is just a lot more convenient sometimes, where you're not really doing anything. You're just clicking the link and boom, you're in the Zoom. As opposed to if they're giving you a longer ID code, you have to sit and type that in. But they both do the same thing. One's just manual, one's just sort of a shortcut, a link of sorts. And then I also wanted to mention in terms of turning your camera on and off, as Nathan was saying, when you join the Zoom initially, it will ask upon entering this Zoom call, would you like to enter it with your video on or off? And that's something you're deciding before you even get into the call. But once you are in the call, you can always change your mind. And we will go over that with David next. But in the Zoom call, there's always the option to turn your camera on, off, and there's always the option to turn your microphone on, off. So whatever you decide upon entering the chat, that can always be changed later. But I just wanted to also throw that in there. But now I'll pass it on to David. I just wanted to mention a few additional things there. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm David, and I'm going to be talking about these buttons that you can see on the bottom of your screen. So anyone who's on a laptop or on a computer should see them. If you're on an iPad or tablet or iPhone, it might be on the top also. It might be a little bit different. So all the way here to the left, there's a mute button. So right now, as you can see, there's no line in between, which means I'm speaking and you guys can hear me. If I were to press the mute button, there would be a red line across it. And you could try for yourself and press it. There'll be a red line across it, which would enable me to speak and for all of you guys to be able to hear me. On the right, there's the stop video button. If it's no red line, it means that you can see me. If you can see yourself right now, then your video is on. And if you press the stop video button, there will be a red line and it will stop people from being able to see you. To the right, there's a participants button. And if you see there's 2 people, if you look on your bottom of your screen, it says how many people are in it. So right now there's 29 participants. And if you press on participants button, you can scroll and you can see everybody's name and who's on it. To the right, there's a chat button, which if you press the chat button, you're able to write like, hello, I have a question, or can you go back? And you can be able to speak to people through it. And if you press the chat button, there should be an everyone and specific people. So if you want the whole Zoom to be able to see what you want to say, you want to send it to a specific person, you would go in their name from the chat button. The record, I'm not really going to talk about too much because you only press that if you want to record the meeting. To the right is the reactions button, which if you could press it right now, if Amiel. Okay, sorry. The reactions button, if you like what someone's saying, you could press it and put a thumbs up, or you can put like you could raise your hand if you have a question, if you just want to show your expression. Because right now there's 28 people on here, and if you just put your hand up physically, you might not be able to see it. But if you raise your hand on the Zoom, you can be able to see, oh, he's raising his hand, let's come to him and ask. Here it shows how many participants there are and who. So in the picture here, there's 2 participants and they're both Jordan Mittler. And you could also from here unmute or stop your video. All the way on the bottom right, if you want to leave a Zoom, you press that button once. It will give you a confirmation. Are you sure you want to leave? And you press that again and you'll leave the Zoom. Here is like I was saying before, when you go to chat somebody. So if you go to everyone and write hello, everyone will be able to see it. If you go, for example, you go to Julia Fight, you could just write, so just she sees what you want to say instead of the whole chat. Here, also, like I was saying, if you want to raise your hand, you press raise hand. If I'm going too fast, you could press the slower button, which is this gray button with the arrows. If I'm going too slow, you could press the blue button, which is basically telling me to go faster. And if you just like anything I say or something, there's buttons here to show it and express it. If you're on a phone, it should be a little bit different, but it should still be more or less the same buttons. Here on the left is the unmute, to the right is the start video. And like I was saying, see right here, there's red lines over them, which means that if I was on the Zoom, no one would be able to see me or hear me. Since there's not enough room, there's a more button. And if you press that more button, options will come up, whether it be like chat or leave Zoom or chat and just a bunch of things. You press more. Top right is the leave button in case you want to leave. And just the difference between this and before was this is if you're on your tablet or phone or iPad, and before was if on your like a laptop or computer. Can you, like I was saying, the more button, raise hand if you have a question and you want to add something or say something, you press raise hand so it's easier for us to see. Chat is if you want to say anything, like say hello, anything. And then these buttons in between, like meeting settings, minimize, you won't really be using them as much. And on the bottom here is the expressions like thumbs up, slower, faster in case it's too fast or too slow. And yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to add with sort of this bottom bar on the computer view that David was going over, a great feature that I myself use a lot and is great for a group setting like this is the chat button. I think especially in a class with my own school classes, if the professor is talking and I can't necessarily cut in a larger sort of capacity Zoom call, I will use the chat button to just physically type maybe something that I would like to say, a question, a concern. And we encourage you guys always to do this with Mittler senior technology classes, just via Zoom. Sending something in the chat always is read by one of the teachers. So David, Nathan, Nathaniel, Amiel, or I, we can just respond via the chat. Maybe if somebody is busy speaking or teaching the lesson, the chat is a wonderful way to essentially just slide a comment in there. And then like David was covering, the two different views you were seeing were a computer format versus a phone format. And as we know, you can join Zoom on an iPad, an iPhone, a computer. So we just wanted to show maybe what your buttons will look like depending on the device that you're using to join the call today. A sort of special feature on Zoom is that if a host enables closed captioning, this is a button that you can select, and essentially captions will come across the bottom of your screen. I know for Mittler Senior Technology classes, we don't necessarily have this set up just yet, but that is something that we would love to have as a feature of our class for someone who maybe would like to physically see a live transcript going on while the class rolls on. But now I will pass it along to Nathaniel. But thank you, David.
Okay. Hi everyone again. Right now I'm going to be talking to you guys about hosting a meeting. There's just one thing I want to clarify about hosting a meeting that I said earlier. To host a meeting, you do need an account. Unlike to join a meeting, you don't need an account, but it is free to make an account. You just need to fill in some basic information. I just wanted to make that clear about hosting meetings. You do need an account for that. So there are two ways to start your own meeting. Basically the way like you'd want to start your own meeting is right now we're the hosts, but if you want to be the host to host family gatherings, friend gathering, a work event, or anything like that, there are two ways to do that. One of them is by clicking this orange button that says new meeting, and once you click this, it'll bring you straight to a Zoom meeting. And it, like, if you can go to the next slide, so now that it will bring you directly to this new meeting. And if you click on the top left of the screen, you guys can do that right now, but it'll give you all this information about how, and basically when you're the host, the way to send out this information, you can either send who you want to invite to the meeting a meeting ID, which is a 9 to 10 digit code that they can use to sign into the meeting, or you can send them an invite link by just copying the link over here, and I'll send them that link. As you can see right above where it says the host, which is Jordan Mittler right here, there's the 9 to 10 digit meeting ID that you can forward, or underneath the invite link. There's the one other way to schedule a meeting is by clicking on, but if you underneath the orange button that I just showed you how to use, we can click the schedule button, which will is another way to schedule a meeting. That, let's say if I want to host a meeting next week Sunday, but I'm not gonna directly open the meeting now, but there's a way to, if I click this button, the schedule button, it will I can schedule a date and it'll be all set up for when I want to schedule the meeting. So right here, if you click that button, it'll bring you to this page where it gives you a bunch of information, but what we're going to be focusing on is the topic. So for this meeting, for example, we would call it Mittler Senior Tech. Mittler Senior Technology. That's what the focus of this meeting is. Also, you would have to fill out the day and time because you are scheduling this meeting for another time. So also, one key thing that for this meeting, underneath where it's the day and time, it says recurring meeting. Since we do this class every Sunday, this one is a recurring meeting, and we check that box, and so it's ready for us every Sunday. That's depending on if you're gonna reuse this meeting. Then then you have to click save on the bottom, and it'll schedule a meeting, and it'll be all set up for when you wanna when you want to host your meeting. If you go to the next slide. Okay, and a way to see like the meetings that you have is when you open the Zoom, open your Zoom, on the top you see it says home, chat, meetings, and contacts. You click this meeting button and it'll bring you to this next page, and yeah, and you can see this is where you can access the information. By if you want to invite your friends, you can see it says a meeting ID over over there. Also the copy link. That's if you want to forward it, you could forward it with text message. Like lots of different ways to forward it. But just copy that and send it, and you can see right here. This is where it'll show you where all your meetings are if you have more than one or anything like that. Also, if you are the host, there's one thing to just add is that once you send all your participants the link or the meeting ID, you have to admit them into your meeting. And this is also like a safety, it's like security feature that you can see who's trying to join your meeting, and if it's people that you invited, you can just click admit and they'll join your meeting. And it's just like a little safety feature or security. And one more thing to clarify about hosting a meeting is right now for you guys, it says on the bottom right to leave the meeting, that red button, it says leave. You can click that and you'll end up leaving the meeting. But when you are the host, you can't just leave the meeting. If you want to leave, it ends the meeting for all. So when you are the host, just keep that in mind that if you do leave, it closes the whole meeting for everyone. With that end, you'll have that end instead of the leave button.
Perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to add one more thing also, on top of what Nathaniel said on slide 30, sorry, Amiel. He was explaining the two different ways to send out the invite. And so I just wanted to sort of link that in your mind to something we covered earlier. So he's talking about when you are the host, how do I send an invitation to other people to join my meeting? There are two ways, via the 9 to 10 digit code or send them a link. And so that perfectly corresponds with what we were saying earlier about how do I join a meeting? So when you're joining a meeting, it's essentially you're receiving one of these two things that a host would be sending. So this is just sort of when you're on the other side of it, when you are the host yourself, how to send out these two key parts that Nathaniel was talking about. And then I wanted to mention something on maybe slide this one. I think a key feature, Nathaniel was talking about all of these different specifications you can tweak and sort of customize when you're looking to schedule a meeting that you're wanting to host, maybe sometime in the future. This is a great feature about Zoom that maybe something like FaceTime does not have. If it's maybe more of a professional meeting or a meeting with a set time, you have this ability to look 3 days into the future and select a date, a time that participants can join your Zoom call. You can customize things like, can the participants have their videos on or off? Or should I include the date in the invite? Can I customize the topic? All of these things are super, super sort of niche characteristics that are specific to Zoom. Something like FaceTime, you can't necessarily have this ability to schedule a meeting further into the future. Sure, you can tell somebody that you would like to FaceTime them in the future, but Zoom will sort of hold off on sending them the invite and then send it closer to maybe the date in the future that you've selected to have this meeting. But perfect. Moving on, I think I will pass it off to Nathan to cover how to add, this is sort of a fun feature we added at the end of the class, how to add a virtual background as you see me and the other teachers have behind us today.
Okay, so I'll be talking about a virtual background. So this is not really necessary. It's just like a fun feature that Zoom has. So the way you're going to start off by doing this is at the bottom left of your screen. You're going to see the video kind of like camera over there, and there's going to be this arrow to the right of it. And so you'll click on that, and what will happen is, maybe you want to go to the next slide. Yeah. So what's going to happen is these 4 options are going to come up. Now, the main one that you're going to want to focus on is choose virtual background. So after we choose, which is underlined in red. So after you press on choose virtual background, this screen will come up. Now, I'm going to demonstrate it real quick to just show you guys what it really looks like. So you're going to have these options that come up. So right now it's none, but I can switch my background to like a blur if I wanted to, as you see on my screen right now, if someone's pin me, or you could have like the one that all the teachers have, or you could have some moving ones that are options, our graphs one or the world. These are just fun features that Zoom has. And if you want to add, like, let's say you don't want any of these options, you can press on the plus button. Amiel, you want to circle that? Yeah. So that button right there, if you press on that, you'll be able to choose your own background, your own, you can customize. It could be anything you want, literally anything you want. It's just, if you don't like these 5 options, you can just press on that and you can choose anything you want. So yeah. Okay, and then this is on the phone. So this is what it's going to look like on your phone. So we're going to press on more in the bottom right corner. And then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to have all the options and you're going to press virtual background. And it's a little harder because it's like everything's more like it's smaller, it's a smaller screen. But after you press on that, if you look here, you're also going to get the same options available. And the plus button, the red arrows pointing to it, you'll click on that and you'll be able to pick whichever picture you want as your background. So it's just a fun, it's not necessary at all. If you guys want to do it, it's a very fun and amusing thing to do for Zoom. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to be talking about is speaker view and gallery view. So I kind of want to demonstrate this because it'll be easier, but speaker view, what that is so right now I'm talking. And so what speaker view is, if you have that selected, whoever's speaking will be the main part of your screen. So let's say if I was speaking, or let's say if my friend Nathaniel was speaking, that's what's going to be the main focus of your screen. However, which is gallery view is not just focusing on one, really, it's not on one person. It's more of, you get like a 5x5 or 7x7, and you'll be able to see really everyone who's on the Zoom. So like when I'm teaching or something like that, or let's say if like you want to be able to see everyone, you would probably want to do gallery view, which is you're able to see, as I was saying before, you're going to be able to see all these different cameras, which is different from speaker view, because speaker view is who's ever talking, that's going to be the main screen on your computer. So it's just another good Zoom kind of like, it's a good, another fun kind of Zoom thing. It's just, again, your preference. It's just, you're able to switch whenever you want. It's just what you prefer.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted to add that for the different view options, you access these, if you're looking at Zoom right now on your computer or your phone, this will be in the top right corner of your screen where you see a smaller icon and it says view. If you click on that, it will expand to give you these options to choose speaker or gallery, like the 2 different views Nathan just covered. But we would like to announce that if you enjoyed this class or wish to watch other recordings, you can access these recordings on our YouTube channel. So on YouTube, if you search Mittler Senior Technology, you'll be able to find, I'm sure, this video soon, and then other previous different classes or recorded content such as Tech Tip Tuesdays, things of that nature that we publish. If you would like to follow us on social media, we are on different platforms such as Instagram or Facebook, and we also send these in our WhatsApp, but that is at Mittler Senior Tech. That's our account handle, and that's how you will be able to access the content we're putting out. If you have any questions also, as I mentioned in the beginning of the class, you can access, or you can email us, I'm sorry, at info@mittlerseniortech.com. If you would like to ask me or any of my teachers or Jordan a question, just send it to that same email. And we really hope that you enjoyed the class today on zooming into Zoom. I'm sure many of you are already well accustomed to Zoom as you're on the call today, but we just wanted to give a little refresh, a little reminder of different sort of features of this platform. Like I covered in the beginning of class, if you would like to sort of backtrack and cover just some computer basics before coming into a class like this, we have our 10 lesson course online via our portal. You can sign up through our website, Mittler Senior Technology. And these are recordings taught by Jordan. They are $7.50 per class. And then beyond this, our advanced computers classes, as I covered in the beginning, this is 10 additional lessons onto the portal. These are $10 per class. And once again, they're taught by Jordan. I would like to thank Nathan, Nathaniel, and David, also Amiel on IT for joining us today. Today was a free class on Zoom. That's how you accessed it, of course, for a typical Sunday at 11:30. And then looking forward into the future, you can look at our social media or WhatsApp for us to post new topics and sort of new ideas for these classes to come. Everybody is welcome, no registration or cost, just as you experienced today. And like we had our sponsors in the beginning of class, we would love to have more students sponsor classes moving forward. This is $50 per class, and this helps us just keep operations going, keep the portal alive, keep doing outreach as we do to sort of keep this program expanding on. And you can reach out to us, info@mittlerseniortech.com, to sponsor a class. We can move on to the next slide. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the class today. Any questions you can send in the chat. We'll stick around for a few moments to answer those, but also you can reach out to us via the email, as I've mentioned a few times. But thank you so much and have a lovely weekend, or week looking ahead. Thank you.